So we're here with part two of my interview with Rose. Obviously, we'll cut off short because I had to go to Tripura, and it was very early in the morning for us, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But now it's evening, and we've definitely got a pep in our step. You've just had coffee.
Yes.
So yeah, we're definitely a bit more up and at 'em. And I just wanted to start off with this. We had a lot of comments in the last video, and I just want to read a few of them because they're really interesting. So the first comment goes like this: Rose should start a YouTube channel. It'll help people who want to know more about her and her life and how she experiences every day in Mizoram. And also to showcase her talents in some videos will be awesome because most people love to watch interracial couples on YouTube channels. People love to see this type of relationship and how they live adjusting to each other's cultures.
That's
So,
really nice.
how does that sound to you?
That's so sweet. Like that is like I haven't read a lot of these comments yet.
Yeah.
But that is incredibly sweet to say something like that. And I think that it's super interesting and it's something I need to get more like involved in, and I am going to do that. We're actually starting to do that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I'll leave a link to that in the description. So if you want to check out her family life and how she's adjusting to the culture over here, make sure you check out her channel. Give her a subscribe while you're at it because that'll be super cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Now, so there was a few more questions. We just didn't have the time last time to get into these questions. So I'm just going to jump into it. The first question is, what is your favorite things about Mizoram and life in Mizoram?
I really like the way the scenery is so
Oh,
beautiful.
yeah.
The wildlife.
Mm.
I like that you guys build up on your buildings and that you live in joined houses, like families. Like America, we don't really have like this family bond like you have here. It's so great. Like we are running out of space in America. For example, we're taking up all the forest. Many of the wild animals are going extinct because it's normalized there to live by yourself. Like once you're 18, you got to move out of your parents' house.
Get out of there.
Get out of there, yeah. And then then you have to get your own apartment. You have to have your own car. You have to, and it's so wasteful.
Yeah.
So like, and then here you have people who are like in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. They're still living with their grandparents and their mothers and their fathers and their uncles and y'all, and you're sharing everything. And it's something that a lot of the world needs to adapt because we are overpopulating in areas and to think that it's normal to just go out and like in America, the house I gave away was huge. And you know who lived there? Just me. Just me.
Yeah, wow. Oh. So yeah, and obviously like a lot of the towns, and that's something that I also really love is like the landscape that the cities create with all the
So pretty,
high
yeah.
buildings, and then once it's nighttime with all the lights on.
So, okay, me and you have both been on planes.
Yeah.
For example, if you're in an airplane and you look down at like flat ground, like if you're going over America or like any other place, for example, like here in Azal, the way that it's set up, the buildings and the lights, it looks like you're in a plane looking down on flat ground because it's so hilly and it just so pretty.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, that's definitely also one of my favorite parts about it as well. Now, 2 months ago, you had a baby. And I just want to know, what was that experience like? So Moy also had a baby at the beginning of this year, and we actually filmed the whole process. So if you're interested in that, like, check it out on Moy's channel because it's a really interesting video and very educational, definitely for young mums or young to-be mums who are about to have a baby. So yeah, how was the experience for you? What happened? Do you just want to kind of talk us through, yes, like I suppose maybe the highs and lows of
pregnancy?
I suppose more birth than
Birth.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will say this. I was quite confused because after I had my baby, it was about 48 hours later, I loved my husband so much. And I just felt like we were just so much in love. While I was pregnant though, he was so annoying. Like, but I didn't know that was a pregnancy thing. I thought maybe I'd made a mistake. Maybe we're not right for each other.
Yeah.
But then as soon as the baby was out of me, I was able to tolerate him, and I wanted him around me. But before that, I was just like, I'm going to kill him. And like, you're breathing too loud. Like, I didn't know that was like a
common thing. If that's a common experience that you guys have also faced, let us know down in the comments, because we definitely also faced it, my wife and I, during both, it's just the hormone imbalance.
Right. And Penna, in his defense, he had warned me. He's like, you only just don't like me right now because you're pregnant.
Yeah.
But I thought he was just saying that so that I wouldn't, so that I would stop not liking him.
Right.
But I couldn't help it. Like, he was different. Like, I don't know. It was different. And then I had the baby, and I was like, come here, I want you near me. And
Now, you had a C-section.
Yes.
Was that nerve-wracking for you?
Oh my gosh, I was so scared.
Wow.
Okay, so yes, I have. Okay, a lot of people ask me this. Yes, I have homesickness sometimes, but like everybody says, it's true. I am very strong and I'm very open-minded. However, at the very end, getting closer to the due date, I was freaking out. Like, I just wanted to go home. I wanted to see, my family. I wanted my family. I wanted my people, and I was scared, and I didn't know what to expect. And it's like, the more that it got closer and closer, nerves, and then there was complications, and I was scared of like, what happens if this happens to the baby, or if this is wrong with the baby, or it was just a lot. And I didn't have I have Panna's family, obviously, but it's difficult when you're a woman and you don't have you can't call your mom, or you can't call a sister, or you can't call a cousin over, some other woman to really understand you. And it's your family. So here it's just yes, I had Panna's family, but there's a language barrier. And then on top of that, I didn't want to seem needy in a way. And then also it was just challenging in that moment. But once I got to the doctors, because I was scheduled to have a C-section on the 28th, which was before his due date. Okay. And he was due on the 4th of October. And then they were going to do it on the 28th. I actually went into labor on the 26th. And I had to go to the hospital. I was losing fluid. So they decided to just go ahead and do the C-section.
Wow.
And I was so scared and panicked that my doctor, I can't pronounce his name still. How do you pronounce his name?
Doctor.
Ramdin Tara Silo. Ramdin Tara.
Ramdi
Tara.
Ramdi Tara. Dr. Ramdi Tara. Okay, so he was my doctor, Dr. Ramdi Tara. And he was amazing. He came in there and he held my head and he talked to me and he prayed for me. And he was just being so gentle with me. And I felt for a moment like I had another father. For somebody to be that nurturing and kind when you're in such a vulnerable state.
That's nice.
That was so nice. And he didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
And, coming from America, I wouldn't have expected that from an American doctor. But that meant the world to me. He's such an excellent doctor.
The other thing that people were really intrigued about in the comments was the fact that you are Native American and that you have a lot of strong connections with your tribe as well. So I'd love to hear about that. What type of things, people would just be really interested. What is your tribe like? What type of foods do you like? What type of dress would be maybe considered traditional, and kind of what it means to be a part of your tribe for you.
That's going to take much longer than 5 minutes. Okay, so we'll go to the dress, okay, because it's very interesting. We don't believe in stealing feathers. You have to earn a feather.
Right.
We have big feather headdresses. Those are for the wise. The chiefs wear them, but we also have single feathers where the warriors can wear them on the string dangling down off their braids. Men can have long hair and wrap them in braids. My son might even have long hair one day. It's up to him. So one of our traditions is when they're 3 years old, we ask them, what do they recognize themselves, what do they relate to? So when they're 3, we give them their first haircut. If they feel like they're more of a chief, a leader, a wise man, we let them keep their hair. We wrap their hair in braids.
Wow.
Your hair is considered your wisdom. and it is a great honor if a chief gives you a lock of his hair. It's a great honor.
Yeah.
But if someone cuts your hair, it is like the greatest disrespect.
Is there anything to do with hair for women?
Yes, but not as strong. It's mostly men.
Okay.
Women, they're more free to do however they want, but you know, for the men, the chiefs have long hair.
Yeah.
That's just how it is, because they're wise. Their hair is their wisdom.
Mm.
They even say that my hair is my wisdom.
Wow.
My hair is my pride.
Yep.
Native pride. The chief wears his hair in long braids and wraps it, and then he also wears a headdress which is full of feathers that he earned, didn't steal. Stealing a feather is like.
So to clarify, when you're talking about stealing a feather, it's like stealing a feather from a chicken. You chase a chicken, you pluck one of its feathers out.
Yes, stealing a feather is to pluck a feather.
Okay.
To earn a feather is to gain a friendship from the great owl, the wise great owl who sits in your tree. He's in your tree, and as he prunes himself, he'll drop feathers. That's earning a feather.
Yeah.
So my brother actually has a whole headdress that he dedicated to our grandmother. It's made of white owl feathers. Every feather has a meaning.
Yeah.
Chicken feathers, they're just really decorations. We more make stuff with chicken feathers for kids to play with.
Okay.
The owl feather, the hawk feather, the eagle feather, these are extremely important feathers.
Yes. Yeah.
So
So like a chicken compared to an owl would be considered much more like sacred or special.
yes, of course, because the owl is a sacred animal.
Yeah.
You never are supposed to kill, hunt, or eat an owl in our culture because the owl is connected to the Great Spirit.
Mm.
Same thing with the wolf. Same thing with like certain animals. We just have like this connection, like the horse.
That's really interesting. I also asked about maybe like food. Is there any like traditional food, and if not, like any food that you just enjoy in general?
So okay, much of the food that Mizo people eat, like the flat bread that you fry, we have that too. We call it fry bread. And it's a traditional Native American dish.
Oh, nice.
And then we have beans with salt pork, which we use with fry bread. We dip our fry bread in it.
Nice. So it's a bit of a stewy pork dish.
It's nice. It's like salty beans. It's so good.
Oh, nice.
And then we have where you eat a lot of rice, we eat a lot of squash, gourds and things. And one thing you asked me in the other one that I had forgotten to mention that you cannot get here, it's very rare to get here, is turkey.
Oh.
My favorite meat is turkey meat.
Right.
Okay, and that bird is so good. Okay, and we eat the turkey a lot, and it's traditional bird because like we have wild turkeys there, and
yeah. The thing I love about turkey is like a chicken drumstick is like, oh, it's a little thing.
Yeah, it's a little.
Turkey drumsticks, like.
You're like a caveman.
It's so good, isn't it?
If you are familiar with the Flintstones, then holding a turkey leg makes you feel like you're right at, in bedrock.
That's so funny. Well, anyway, thanks very much, Rose, for joining me on my channel. It's been amazing having you, and I really appreciate your time.
I really appreciate your time too. You're awesome, Kip.
Thank you.
This dude is awesome. Make sure you subscribe and join his family, and make sure you find us and come see what we're about, and we look forward to seeing you.
All right. See ya.
Bye-bye.